Good evening, everyone. So, this is the first lecture of BM 3002. So, the course name is Analytical Techniques in Biotechnology. Okay. So, this is a 3 credit course, 300. Okay. And I will be your course instructor, Kunal Pal. And my mobile number is this one. And your course TA will be Mr. Bikash Kumar Pradhan. His mobile number is this thing. Okay. So I suppose all of you have created the WhatsApp group also. So we will be in touch in the WhatsApp group also. So if you face any problem, don't hesitate to put up your questions either in the WhatsApp group or in your or through you. If you are not confident to give a call to us, you may put up the question in the WhatsApp also in the group also. Okay. So before going into the details of the course and what you will be expecting in this course in this whole semester, as the name suggests, analytical techniques in biotechnology. So what do you mean by this? So let's look into the each of the words in this topic. The first one is the analytical. So this word, it has been originated from the word analysis. Okay. So analytical means analysis of something. Okay. Techniques means you use various methods. Okay. So the word analytical, the group of word analytical techniques means literally means the analysis methods. Okay. So when we talk about this biotechnology, it is related with the various biological
అది
aspects.
అన్ని అవుతాడు వాడు పట్టుడు.
Please mute your microphones. Okay. Hello. I have already done it. Whatever is there. Have you changed? Have you checked your the portal? There were 3 problems. You might have done the pre-registration late. There were 3 problems. I have already done it. Okay. You send me the screenshot. Then I will see. Sorry. So biotechnology. This is associated with the biological systems. Okay. So this word analytical technique, this course title, analytical techniques in biotechnology, it basically means what are the different analysis methods for analyzing the biological systems. Okay. So when we talk about this analysis method can be of 2 types. One is qualitative and the second is quantitative. Okay. In the qualitative method, we just say that this is good or that is bad. Okay. Or uh, we just compare visually. Okay, we do not go for quantitative analysis, this quantification of the color or whatever. Okay, say for example, you are comparing colors of two fruits, say apple. Okay, so I have given you two apples and you are comparing the apple, and looking into these two apples, you say that one of the apple, it is having a it is good to eat, or you can say that it is a fresh apple, whereas the second one you can say that it is not so fresh. So that is also an analytical technique. Okay, so you are doing the analysis by the visual perception. Okay, but over there you are not quantifying something. Okay, so if you go for the quantification of some method, say the same thing, if I say that you find out which of these two apples are fresh apple, or which one is the rotten one, and if you use a colorimeter and you quantify the color, okay, and quantify the color, that okay, this is having R, G and B, which are associated with the color domains or the color planes. So it is having this specific R, this is having this specific G value, this is having this specific B value, and by comparing the RGB values of the two apples, you say that this is a rotten apple and this is a fresh apple. Then that technique would be a quantitative technique. Okay, so if you see, in qualitative, we are not going into determination of some specific numbers. Okay, whereas in the quantitative analysis, we usually go for quantification of some parameter, and based on the quantified values, whatever we get, we say that we go for the analysis of the products. Okay, so while we will be talking about these analytical techniques, some of the techniques, they can be used both qualitatively and quantitatively. It depends on how you are using the method. Okay, say for example, if I give you a micrograph of say blood cell, is it a qualitative method and or a quantitative method of analysis? If I give you a micrograph and I ask you to find out the characteristics of the blood cells which are there in the micrograph, so will it be a qualitative one or a quantitative one? Can anyone tell me? Hello, are you guys there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what it would be? If I give you a micrograph of say of your blood, I have taken a drop of blood from your finger, and a smear was made, and I have taken the micrograph of the smear, and I just give you the micrograph and tell you and ask you what are the characteristics of this of the blood cells which are present, which you can visualize in the micrograph. So will it be a qualitative one or a quantitative one?
Sir,
Quantitative,
quantitative.
sir.
So anyone else? Anyone
Sir,
else?
it can be both, like both qualitative and quantitative, since we can see the shapes and also the number of cells that are present.
So
It should be both, sir, according to me.
according to you, it should be both. Anyone else?
Sorry, sir. Due to network issue, I got disconnected. I don't listen the question, sir. Please repeat.
So if there is a blood smear micrograph given to you, okay, and I ask you, see what are the features of the blood cells, whatever the features you can see, whether those are okay or not, or what are the features of the blood cells. So would that be a qualitative method or a quantitative method?
Sir, that will be a qualitative method.
Okay, so I have got 3 responses, and 3 responses are totally different. One of the person is saying qualitative method, another one quantitative method, and the third one she is telling both qualitative and quantitative. So anyone else who can help me out? No? Okay.
Hello, sir. Like, if we're looking for the characteristics of the cells only, then that is a qualitative,
Yeah.
like qualitative quantification.
Yeah, so it is a qualitative method. So if I give you the micrograph and ask you to find out what are the characteristics of your blood cells, then it is a qualitative method. However, if I say within this micrograph, how many RBCs are there? How many WBCs are there?
Then it will be a quantitative method.
Then it becomes a quantitative analysis. Okay. So if you see over here, we are doing, we can do both qualitative and the quantitative method. And whether you want to do it, you will be doing a qualitative one measurement or a quantitative measurement, it will be dependent on your what you call method of the analysis, how you are doing. Okay, so when we are analyzing the blood cells qualitatively, we do not use any specialized equipment, whereas when we go for the quantitative measurements, we go for the hemocytometer. Okay, hemocytometer is nothing but it is just similar to a glass slide. Okay, and then there is a grade. I am not going into the details of this one. So there is a grade which is being what you call this, which is being fractioned into 4 parts, and over there we have to take a specified volume of the blood and dilute it to a specified volume and then add it into this grade, and then we go for the analysis. Suppose in one case, if I take 10 microliter and in the other case I take say 11 microliter of your blood, and if I do the analysis, then I cannot go for the quantitative measurement. Okay, so when we are doing quantitative measurement, the test samples, whatever we are doing, it has to be a measured one. Okay, if you do not do the measurement, then you are losing account of your how much volume you have taken, and within that specified volume, how many RBCs or WBCs were there. Okay, so if you do not take into account what is your initial volume, test sample volume, then you will not be able to keep track of this one, and ultimately so what you would like to find out, you would say that this patient, he or she is having say 100 cells per ml. Okay, so from where you will get this per ml fraction, right? So this per ml fraction would be coming from how much amount of blood you have taken from the patient. Okay, but if you say, if you want to see, do not want to quantify, and if you want to see whether any contamination or there is any sepsis of the blood, okay, So sepsis of the blood means there will be microbial infection of the blood tissue. So in that, if there is any microbial contamination, say protozoal or protozoa infestation or something like that, then from the micrograph only you can say, okay, this protozoa is present. That means the patient is suffering from this disease. Okay, say in the case of the malaria, you do not need to go for the quantitative analysis, but just by visualizing the the red blood cells, you will see dark patches and you can say, yeah, protozoa is present within the blood cells. So this patient is having this thing. But say for example, if someone is having very low platelet, the platelet is falling down. Now over there you have to go for the quantitative analysis. Are you getting my point? So you are using a specific instrumental method for doing the analysis, but in what way you are using the same instrument would play a major role in determining whether you are going for the qualitative analysis or you are going for the quantitative analysis. Okay. So what you will be expecting in this course from me, the topics which will be covered. The first one is the microscopy. So in that we will be talking about light microscope, phase contrast microscope, confocal microscope, electron microscopy like TEM and SEM. Okay, TEM stands for transmission electron microscopy and SEM stands for scanning electron microscopy. Okay, then we have mass spectrophotometric techniques. So over here we have introduction to the mass spectroscopic methods, ionization, the different types of mass analyzers, detectors, structural information by tandem mass spectrometry, then Malditov. We'll be discussing all these things. Then next topic would be electrophoretic techniques. Here we will be talking about general principles, support media, electrophoresis of proteins, electrophoresis of nucleic acids, capillary electrophoresis, microchip electrophoresis. Okay. Then we'll be getting into these chromatographic techniques, principles of chromatography, chromatographic performance parameters, high performance liquid chromatography, adsorption chromatography, partition chromatography, ion exchange chromatography, molecular size exclusion chromatography, affinity chromatography, gas chromatography. Okay. Then we have spectroscopic techniques where we will be discussing about UV visible light spectroscopy, fluorescence spectroscopy, luminometry, circular dichroism spectroscopy, light scattering, atomic spectroscopy, then infrared and Raman spectroscopy, surface plasmon resonance, then EPR, electron paramagnetic resonance, NMR, nuclear magnetic resonance, and X-ray diffraction. Okay. So these are the topics which we will be covering in this course. So before I get into these things, say microscopy, there are certain phenomena like this confocal microscopy, and it is related to, basically it is a special type of instrument which has originated from the fluorescence microscopy. So I need to touch that fluorescence microscopy and all these things. So before getting into this microscopy, I would like to talk about the spectroscopic techniques first. So first I will be discussing about these things, what are the different spectroscopic techniques, and from here first I will be discussing about all these spectroscopic techniques. So you will be able to understand how spectroscopy can be used in various analysis. Say for example, how Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy, it can help us in structural elucidation. or the analysis of some chemical bond formation and all these things. And once we have done that, we will be going taking the information from there, and then we'll be discussing about the microscopy, which will then help us in understanding especially the this confocal microscopy. Okay, then after that we may be talking about these chromatographic techniques, and then once we get in a hold of the chromatographic techniques, then we will go into the electrophoretic techniques and the mass spectrophotometric techniques. Or after chromatographic technique, we can go to the mass spectrum of spectrometers, and after discussing that, at last we can go for the electrophoretic techniques. We will look into that. Okay, so initially I will start with spectroscopic techniques. Okay, so after that, how you will be graded. So usually I take 4 class tests. Okay, at regular interval there will be 4 class tests, and since everything is online nowadays, it will be an open book test. Okay, it will be an open book test. So at a specific time through the WhatsApp group, we will be submitting you the question paper, and after 1 hour we will be giving you 10 minutes to submit that class test over there. Okay, this copy you have to scan your sheets, and you have to submit it to the email ID which would be given to you. Okay, and out of these 4 class tests, we will be taking the average of the best 2 class tests, and we will be basically doing it in such a manner that we take the average of 2 classes, so and that will constitute the 10 marks of your out of the 100 marks. Okay, then whatever I will be teaching every day, you have to maintain the class notebooks, and at regular intervals we would be asking for the notebooks. You have to scan it and send it to the email ID, and that would constitute your 5 marks. Okay, then at on every Friday we will be giving you home assignments, and by every Wednesday 5 p.m. you have to submit the home assignment records. Okay, so that would constitute 5 marks, and lastly we will be having mid semester and end semester examination, that would constitute 80 marks. Okay, so most probably both the mid semester and the end semester examination will be conducted once you return back to the campus, and both of them would be held together. So this is not an official announcement, but I feel the way it is going, it may happen. So I should not be quoted anywhere that sir has told that both mid-sem and end-sem will be happening together. But this is just my gut feeling that it might happen. So, okay. So the official, you have to wait for the official order for the confirmation, right? Then books. There are 3 books which I would be referring. The first book is the Instrumental Methods of Analysis by Willard and Merritt. Okay, this is a very good book. Okay, then second book is Instrumental Methods of Chemical Analysis by Chetwal and Anand. It is a very good book, and it is being what do you call, this book is being followed in the Delhi University. Okay, so when I was a student, I also went through this book. Okay, now this is a very good book, and you will gain a lot of knowledge from this book. Okay, and lastly, the Instrumental Methods of Analysis by Mahadik and Satya Narayanan. Okay. is that initially while you are starting with the subject, you go through this book. This is a very thin book. Okay. But it contains reading pauses, so you can go through this book and go for sit in the exam. After book studies, advise them to go for this book, Chatwal and Anand, because once you have known the basics of the instrumental methods of analysis, you should get important information how you can be you will be able to use the instrumental methods for the analysis of, which can be used in different what you call in different research aspects. You will get that feel from this book, Instrumental Methods of Chemical Analysis. And lastly, once you have done this one, and if you want to gain some more knowledge, then go for this Instrumental Methods of Analysis by Willard and Merritt. This is a very, very good book, but so if you see, the last edition was the 7th edition, okay, and during my college days, I also went through this book, and it is a very old book, and it is a very classical book, and it is being followed across the globe as a standard book for teaching this instrumental methods of analysis. And this is also a very good book. Okay, so for the understanding of the methods, you can go through these things, and still if you have any question, you are free to ask us. Okay, so if you have any questions for us, me or the TA, we will be happy to answer. So that's it for our introductory class. Do you guys have any question? Hello, are you guys there?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
No
sir.
question.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
No question? Okay then. So we'll disperse for today, and tomorrow we'll be looking into this. We'll be starting the course. Okay.